This is a Vinyasa class suitable for adepts. Start in lotus with the eyes closed. Come into tabletop with the weight evenly spread between all four limbs, spine and neutral, and then exhale. Create a vacuum in the abdomen for cat. Inhale, lift the chin up, push the ribs out for cow. Exhale, draw the chin in towards the top of the chest for cat. Inhale, let the abdomen stretch out for cow. Exhale, once the air is expelled, then retain that hollowness. And then inhale, fill the lungs, expand the abdomen for cow. Tuck the tailbone under. Feel as if you're drawing the tailbone in towards the chest. And then come out into neutral. For one-handed tiger, reach the right arm back and the left leg up to grab onto the left foot with the right hand. Facing forward, stretch through the right chest. Keep the torso facing forward. Then let go. Release back to tabletop. Inhale, exhale, cat. Inhale to release. One-handed tiger on the other side. Grab onto the foot and then let the arm be relaxed and the grip on the foot be steady such that the foot can kick into the arm and then pull the shoulder open and the chest open. Exhale to release, coming in to cat. Come back up to neutral, tuck the toes, lift the knees, push the hips up for downward facing dog. Push through the balls of the hands and root through the heels. Let the vacuum be in the abdomen here as well once you exhale. Hop forward into forward fold and sweep up for a back bend. Keep the fingers activated and parallel to each other and pointing, and look up in between them. Now for lotus tree, I'll orientate myself as if it's a mirror, so lift up the left foot and grab it with the left hand wrapped around the waist and reach the right hand up. Exhale, release, and for the other side, wrap the hand around, grab the foot, and then keep the standing leg very long and keep that length all the way up through the side body and through to the left arm, which is now reaching up. So you have maximum length between the left toes and the left fingers. And you're straight, you're not tilting over to one side. And release. Mountain. Inhale, stretch the arms back, open the chest, and exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, come up into the lunge, and push through the hands on top of the knee so that the hips can be opened more. Put your weight into the top of the knee through the hands. Then come back up into a plank. Lower down slowly, keeping the tailbone untucked, and then roll over the toes for upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Hollow out in the abdomen. Lifting up the right leg, step it forward for low lunge on the other side. Once again, trying to split the hips open by pushing the hands into the top of the knee to give you more length in the upper body. Then step forward and forward fold. Inhale to come up. And exhale, forward fold again. Remember to keep the sitting bones apart as you try and reach the chest towards the knees. Then for low lunge again, stepping the left leg back, but this time reaching up with the hands. As the hips have now been opened, we can implement the back bend. Step back for a plank, raise the tailbone, lower down, elbow to 90 degrees, roll over the toes, and open the neck all the way up. And back into downward dog. Don't let the torso drop too much in down dog. Keep it long from through the hands. Lift the left leg up, step it forward, and low lunge on the other side with the arms reaching up. Let the head drop back as you reach the maximum back bend. Exhale, drop the hands down and forward fold. Reach up in a standing back bend. And exhale to mountain. Take a few breaths. Before doing another back bend. And send the right foot back at a 45-degree angle for warrior one. Remember to keep the hips facing forward. Only the right leg opens up to the side. Look up between the hands. Keep the fingers straight and pointed. Exhale. Come down. Send the left leg back for another chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Let the last thing in down dog be the lengthening of the torso and then the expelling of air and the vacuuming. Step the right foot up between the hands, turn the left leg at 45 degrees, lift up the arms, touch the biceps on the ears, and then sink into the right knee to try to make a right angle in it. Exhale, bring the hands back down on either side of the foot. Step the left leg up and fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up for a slight back bend. And exhale to mountain and then fold forward again. Keep trying to lock out the knees here. Don't let them bend as you try to get closer to the shins. Step the left leg back. Shimmy the right foot out to the side. Interlace the fingers. Make a point with the two index fingers. And then for devotional or humble warrior, drop the torso down, touching the right shoulder against the inside of the right knee. Keep the eyes on the back left foot to maintain balance easier. Then inhale, come back up. Step into plank. And a chaturanga dog sequence again. Step the left foot forward on the outside of the left hand to give you that space between the 2 feet so that you can bend forward and have enough space to fit your torso on the inside of the left thigh. Once you reach that, keep trying to make the arms like hands of a clock. Extend further and further. Come back up, step forward, and forward fold. Here I'm using the forearms against the calves to give me less space between my torso and my legs. Inhale up, look at the fingertips, and exhale, forward fold again. Then step back into down dog. Remember to keep the tailbone raised here. Lift the left leg up, open it into scorpion, and then for wild thing, turn onto the edge of the right foot, then try to lay down the whole of the right foot, stay on the ball of the left foot, open up the chest towards the sky, and face the left palm up. Keep trying to open the chest up. And then step forward with the left foot, grab onto it with the left arm, keep the right hand rooted, and then lift the right leg up for one-legged forward fold. Keep trying to straighten out in the standing leg as you maintain the reach in the right toes, drawing the chest towards the left leg. And exhale, step back into down dog. Preparing for wild thing on the other side, lift up the right leg, twist open, only at the last moment lifting up the right hand. See how I try to face the entire chest parallel to the ceiling. And then carefully step the right foot up, root down into it, and then start to pendulum swing the left leg up. Drop the left leg back, step the right foot back into down dog. Come into a high plank, and then bring the left hand down into the middle of the mat and sweep the right arm up for a side plank. As you reach up through the right fingers, Be careful not to drop the hips down. Keep the hips lifting as you push into the edge of the right foot. And then swap to the other side, stacking the feet on top of each other and sweeping the left hand up so that you're broad in the top back and the hips remain high, looking up at the fingertips. High plank, tabletop. And then send the left arm under for threading the needle, lifting the right arm up, and then reaching it all the way around to grab onto the inner left thigh. Once you have that binding, it should be easier to twist the chest open some more as the shoulder moves further onto the back, to give you more opportunity to also turn your head up to the sky. Let go and come back up into tabletop. And then preparing for the other side, open up the right arm to the sky, send it under. And then first try to broaden through the back and get as much lift as you can before binding, and then send the left arm around to grab onto the inner thigh. Once you've grabbed onto the inner thigh, you can use that leverage to get more of a twist in the upper body. Release and come back up into tabletop. Rest in child's pose. Let the upper back spread over the knees. All four palms are in line. Come back up into tabletop, tuck the toes, downward dog. Create space in the shoulders here. Come forward into a high plank. Lower down. Up dog. Down dog. Step the left leg up for triangle, turning the right foot on 90 degrees and putting the palm of the left hand in line directly behind the left foot so that the fingertips touch the heel. Then you can open up the right arm to make the chest perpendicular to the floor. Then look forward, step the left hand forward a bit in front of the foot and lift up the right leg for half moon. Open up the hips to the side and then bend the knee in towards the chest a bit if it helps, so that you can grab onto the right foot with the left hand. Keep kicking through the foot there. Let go and slowly lower down, lifting up the left hand right at the end to maintain the stability, and then for peaceful warrior, reaching the left arm up and back as you sink deeper into the left knee. Touch the bicep on the ear and keep the chest open, lowering the right arm down the right leg as much as you need to. Then windmill the hands forward and step back for downward dog. Step the right foot up in between the hands. Make triangle as on the other side, trying to twist the torso up as much as possible so that it doesn't collapse forward. That's the tendency in triangle. Keep the arms as one line going perpendicular to the floor. Then bend the right knee, look forward, send the right hand forward, find the stability, and then slowly lift the left leg up. Then start to focus on keeping the chest and the hips open to the side instead of collapsing forward. Then you can collapse it forward in order to bend the left knee. Grab onto the top of the foot with the left hand and start to kick into it, opening up the hips ever more as you do so. Let go of the foot, slowly bend the right knee, send the left leg back, and then reach up with the right hand as you bend into the right knee. Keep the focus on elongating the space in the right side body here. So the hips go further down to the right and the shoulder goes further up to the left. Then windmill the arms down to frame the foot and step back into down dog. Jump forward. Now spread the feet further apart than usual and place the hands underneath the feet with the palms facing up, touching the toes to the wrists, and then allow the back to totally release so that the foot pulls on the arms to open up the back. The space created in the back is from the arms being limp and being held down by the feet. Release the hands. Sweep the arms up. And exhale to mountain. Find stillness here. Prepare for the balancing poses. Reach the right arm up. Grab onto the left foot for dancer. Keeping the torso facing forward. Let the foot kicking be the lever. Don't lower the front body unless it's a counterweight for the foot, and release. Lift the left arm up. Grab onto the right foot, the top of it. Keep the chest open and extend the right leg back. By trying to keep the left leg straight and firm, you'll find more opportunity to extend further outwards with the left arm because you'll have the balance. Let go, come back to standing mountain. Lift up the left foot, interlace the fingers around the sole of it, and extend through the heel now. The knees may bend, but keep trying to straighten them as you lower the chest closer to the shin. The action of extending through the heel should help to straighten the knee simultaneously. Set it back down and prepare for the other side. Lifting up the right leg, interlacing around the sole of the foot. The arms are drawn forward by the leg. It's entirely the leg that has the forward push in this posture. The left knee will tend to bend as you draw closer to the shin, so be aware of that and try to correct it. Release and come back to mountain. Exhale, fold forward, down dog. Come to plank, and then lower all the way down. Let the palms face up. And then for bow, reaching to grab onto the feet. Shimmy the shoulders together. Balance on the hips and the bottom of the ribs. Make that your shelf as the entirety of the legs and from the bottom of the ribs upwards peels up to the sky, trying to draw the head ever closer to the soles of the feet, with that being the final goal. The arms remain passive here. Exhale and release. Come into child's pose. Prepare for tripod headstand. Equilateral triangle with the hands and head. Tucking the toes and walking the feet in until they naturally swing upwards with the hips. You may find it appropriate to be less on the center of your head and more towards the forehead, that majority of the weight is being placed in, but also try to bear a lot of it into the hands. Once you're upright, keep correcting the hips ever so slightly to bring them more directly over the shoulders, with the feet pointing and the knees locked together and the ankles locked together. As you lower the legs to come out, keep strength in the arms so that more weight doesn't shift into the head as you come down. And then rest in child's pose. Come up into tabletop. And then for cow face, put the knees on top of each other, draw the feet towards the hips, wrapping the arms similarly. Trying to touch the palms together, reaching upwards with that shape, and then drawing the stacked elbows in towards the abdomen. Come up, release the hands, untangle the legs, and then assume the position on the other side, with the opposite legs stacked, and the opposite arms wrapping around for eagle, holding the palms together. If you can hold the palms and then lift the elbows up very high, then you'll find a deep stretch in the shoulder blades. And then the upper back as you round forward, tucking the chin in towards the nape. And then finding lotus, reaching the left arm around and the right arm to grab on the outside of the left knee. Put the fingers in between the big toe and the other toes, and then hold on to it just as firmly as you use the left rotation. And then untangle the legs for lotus on the other side. Sending the right arm around to grab onto the top of the foot. Once you get a good stretch, push firmly with the left hand, lengthen the spine, and exhale to twist. Then come to release. Set the legs out wide for wide-legged seated position. Raise the arms up and bend down to the right side. Use the right arm on the outside of the foot to grab onto it from the inside, wrapping the fingers around the outside with the elbow against the calf. That'll help you get the leverage to open up the chest some more. Then for the other side, try to keep the chest from collapsing even during the transition. That'll help to enforce how the chest should be trying to open up to the sky here, with the elbow pushing into the leg once again to give you more leverage. Inhale to come up. And now for the twist. Lower down towards the right side. Take the right hand and wrap it around the other side of the foot. And brace yourself to start the twisting cycle of inhaling to lengthen the spine and exhaling, pushing into the right hand to twist some more. Then come to the other side. First try to twist some by using the leverage of the knee, and then once you find that maximum, reach forward to grab the foot to find that extra twist, keeping both feet rooted to the floor here. Come back up, lengthen, stretch the feet, flex them, fold forward, walk the hands forward. Maybe lift up the hips, twist them forward to face them further forward, and then set them back down. Reach the arms forward on the floor. Walk the hands back to sit upright. Draw the legs together and come to staff, flexing the toes towards you. Then walk the hands back, keeping them just closer than shoulder width apart, pointing towards the feet as you lift the hips up. Keep the straight line in the hips and drop the toes to the mat so that the entire foot makes contact and the neck reaches back, and then sit the hips down again. Come back into staff, pushing the hands on either side of the hips to lengthen the spine. And then to start in cobbler, drawing the soles of the feet together, and then open the feet like a book so that the soles face towards you. Bring your fingers underneath them, touching the fingertips together underneath the feet, and lift them up towards the belly button. Try to keep lowering the knees down as you lift the feet up and rotate them further apart from each other, expanding the chest, pushing the chest forward, arching the back, and then lower them down. Close the legs like a book now, and then stretch out into staff again. This time coming into heron with the right foot. Bring it onto the outside of the hip, and then interlace the fingers around the sole of the left foot, straightening out through the left knee and extending through the left heel. Try not to round through the back. Keep the back straight because it will tend to be brought forward by the heel, but this time the spine must be lengthening as both sit bones remain on the floor. Bend the left knee to come into hero, and then temporarily just to extend the right leg up. Wrap your fingers around the sole of the foot. Keep strong in the leg, but don't let it dominate the strength in the spine. Hold on to the foot with the hands actively to try and give you more lift in the spine, while still drawing the leg in towards you. bend at the knee. Now in seated hero. Come forward because we will recline shortly. Lift up the hips and slowly recline onto the elbows so that you can arch the chest up and touch the crown of the head to the floor a bit, and then fully lie down, grabbing the opposite elbows over the head. The hips are still on the floor with the lower abdomen curled upwards, but then start to lift the hips up, curling the tail under to create even more of a stretch in the quads. Lifting all the way up with the hips as much as you can before finally bringing them back down and sitting back up. Come back to staff. Lengthening with the spine, pushing the palms down, and then lying back into corpse with active toes and palms facing down. Then draw the knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around the knees, grabbing for opposite elbows, sway side to side to neutralize the hips. Release the knees and then cross the right ankle on top of the left knee and draw that figure four shape in towards the chest while trying to maintain contact with the lower spine on the floor. Keep both feet very active and flexed as you pull closer to release the hips. Release the feet down, cross the left foot on top of the right knee, and draw that shape inwards. It's more of a squeezing of the knee in rather than drawing it in, which would lift up the hips. The hips remain stationary as the knee squeezes closer to the chest. Release the soles of the feet back down to the floor. Stretch out. Now lift up the feet, draw them in towards you like a cobbler, and then for yogic sleep pose, keep the soles of the feet together as you reach your head underneath them. So the feet remain sealed together behind your head, grabbing for opposite upper arms. Once you've relaxed into that position, you can draw the elbows in and then the shoulders out from underneath the calves, and then you can put the arms on the outsides of the feet so that you can grab the upper legs and pull them further apart. Bring the hands back to the ankles. Slowly take the head out from on top of the legs, and then draw the knees together and stretch out. Come back up and then move down on the mat to draw the legs up and into plow behind you. Move the skin away from the sternum so that you can tuck the chin into it more firmly and deeply to give you more space to reach the hips up and back as the feet walk in towards you. Interlacing the fingers and stretching the arms out can allow you to push the upper body up some more as you continue to try and walk the feet in towards each other, or towards the head. Then push the hands into the lower back, swing the legs upwards for supported shoulder stand. Hold the abdomen strong, the muscles in the abdomen, and try to get more of your back underneath your hands so that you can raise the legs up more straight. And then play with the weight a bit of the legs, maybe dropping them further over you as you release the arms and stretch them up without touching the body for an unsupported shoulder stand. Now you're balanced just on the shoulders, using the center of gravity by the position of the legs to balance. Play with shifting the arms and then bring the knees down for ear pressure pose. Once you settle into this with the knees touching the ears, close the eyes and look inwards. Come back to plow, and then lift the legs up, uninterlace the fingers, and slowly lower back down, then come back to the center of your mat. Raise the hips so that you can bring the hands next to each other with palms facing down, and then lift up the chest, expanding through the chest a lot to counter stretch the neck. Try to keep rolling the head further so that you get more of your forehead onto the mat as you can. The opposite movement to the shoulder stand cycle. Then come out of it, first with the head and then lowering the back. Take the hands out from underneath you. Draw the feet into either side of the hips. Shuffle a bit forward. Push through the feet and then push through the hands to come up to wheel. Look in between the hands. That'll help you to open the chest more. And keep the knees from spreading apart. Keep them quite close together, in fact. And then keep thrusting up through the hips, keeping the strength in the upper legs to keep the hips from drooping. As you can see, the flatness and how the top of the abdomen is parallel to the floor, that comes from lifting the hips up. Slowly lower back down, top of the back to the ground first. And then for a second round of wheel. This time, once you've lifted up, walk the feet in closer towards the hands to close the gap between them. That'll allow you to send the hips even higher. Take long, deep breaths and keep the vision in between the hands, tending towards the feet eventually. And slowly lower back down. Draw the knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around them, and sway side to side along the whole spine. Then tuck the right hand underneath the left knee and draw the knees together to the one side as you look to the left over the left hand. Try to keep rotating the head to draw the ear more under you, getting the cheek, left cheek, closer to touching the mat as the shoulders remain rooted on the mat. Draw the legs back up to center, and then for the other side, lowering the knees to the left side with the left hand tucked underneath them and twisting the right. Trying to reach the chin closer to the mat and softening all the while. Bring the knees back to center. And stretch out in corpse. Let the feet flop out to the side, further apart than they were, and let your hands flop out to the side, further apart from your hips than usual. Release the fingers entirely so that they curl a little bit in towards the hands, the palms on their own. Corpse pose is the most difficult pose to achieve, but at least we can lie down on the floor as we attempt it. The objective is to achieve no mind.